Our special guests tonight include Bob Antone and the band Tinkham Road, who you have already heard. Robert Force, wearing a lab jacket somewhere from the Area 51 bar in Port Townsend. The executive director of the Port Townsend Film Festival, Jeanette Force. Maury Island Incident Historical Society favorites, Pacific North Weird and Vincent Zouza and Alex Sullivan. And I'm telling you, like the Postal Service, snow, rain, sleet, or car sickness won't stop them. The Elm UFO Festival has come with beer.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you. This is the 6th anniversary and the 65th anniversary of the Maury Island Incident Historical Society bonfire, or as we know it, Burning Saucer LXXI. Or for those of you not literate in Roman numerals from Roswell or Vashon Maury Island, it's 71. We begin with these traditional words. It isn't easy to be pioneers, to be laughed at for our beliefs, to be ridiculed or ignored or threatened or excluded or called crazy, obsessive, dangerous, foolish, silly, or worst of all, irrelevant, inconsequential. Or more than worst of all, dismissed as the purveyors of a hoax. And yet, like salmon coming home to spawn and die, we come back. The Society's founders discovered that because the history, the real story of Maury Island, had been concealed in government sealed files for 50 years, that created this loss of knowledge. So even though we live here, that we look right out at Maury Island, and we've looked there for decades, we did not know our own history. Where we came from, where they came from. And so it was determined that the society would be revived, and be revived discreetly, so that we could, one time each year, enjoy a summer night at the beach with a beverage. And the whole story, to achieve our time-worn and oft-modified mission. Always remember never to forget again, forever, together. And as we renewed guardianship of this story, little did we know that our pure and just cause would come under such blistering attack from the likes of the Vashon Maury Island Heritage Society. And the likes of Roswell, New Mexico. Each seeking to preserve their false narratives, to justify their decades of monopolistic economic exploitation of our story. No. We are under attack. And so I humbly call the annual meeting of the Society to order. The question on all of your minds, where is Terry Donahue?
Fire Marshal!
Fire Master, co-founder Terry Donahue. In truth, tonight, he has been compelled, beyond his objection, to be the best man at his own brother's wedding. How could that possibly have been scheduled on this night of nights? And the question I put to you as membership is this excusable or is this punishable?
Let's burn him!
Excuse me, one moment. It appears that parliamentarian Jeff Bean may have something to say. on the issue of excused absences.
Some of you will remember the bylaws.
They got burned.
They got burned. They got burned when we were burning words kind of indiscriminately a couple years ago. But I remember everything that's in them. Committed it to my photographic memory. And I remember quite specifically Article 5, paragraph 3 regarding excused absences of founders is acceptable in 3 circumstances. One is, injury, life-threatening injury, suffering, medical, requiring medical intervention, and involving the breaking of at least one rib. Yeah. So that's one. The other one is being lead negotiator at an international denuclearization summit. So I don't think that applies. And yes, being called to be either best man or maid of honor in a close relative's wedding in an unscheduled wedding ceremony. So yes, I'm sorry, but
Now we shall do the ceremonial secret handshake. Very important. And I'm going to do a demo. I need someone out here to demo with me so I can stay on the microphone. So, this is a handshake. It will end with you actually making contact with another human. So be in a position to do that. Pick your human now. Just make sure you got a match. Pick your human now. So, ceremonial greeting is this. Starts out with a downward 3 fingers. Now, pay very close attention. This is an M, right? That's a Maury. So you throw down Maury. Maury. Now, wait. Now watch my wrist. This is a swivel. Swivel it up, and while you do, 2 fingers come out. That's a double I. Island incident. Got it? Maury, swivel, double I, island incident. Now it's a pivot to a peace sign. We come in peace. Got it? Maury, island incident. We come in peace. You're almost there. You're almost there. Now, imagine, now go to a fist bump with your neighbor. Except don't do it yet. Look at that fist. Look at it. Look at it. But before you touch it, throw that finger out. That finger stands for first. Because we are the first sighting in the modern UFO era. So when you fist bump, it goes like this. First. You interlock. First. Got it? Now from this position, the last and secret, not on it. We don't put it on the, we don't put it anywhere. Hang on. It's not too painful. Hang on. No weirdness. This is not weird unless you make it weird. Okay. So now you do this. You just you pull away like this and go slag. Slag. Okay? We're gonna do it together. You ready? The whole thing. Ready? Here we go. Maury, island incident. We come in peace. First. Slag. All right. Robert Force, everybody.
Well, thank you. Having been one of those lucky people that was voted in on first-time membership last year, and now that the rule seems to be the norm, great. As a second-year attendee, I can only say I am so very glad to be here. But now I'm going to talk about the Area 51. You know, Area 51 is a spot where everyone is welcome. It's that place at the end of the universe. Forget this race and creed and color thing. We're talking about species. We're talking about areas of origin. We're talking about that pinosynclastic infidibular reality that brings everybody together. Not only do we have cocktails that are out of this world, hence Area 51, but having designed the Maury Island Incident cocktail in special consultation with this man here about why it is. What do you put into the ingredients of a cocktail to make it immortal? I'll tell you.
Tell us.
It's mostly booze.
Good start. Good start.
But the berries that come from this part of the world, and of course that wonderful wormwood touch that makes the poets crazy, the absinthe and the blackberry. So anyway, The Area 51 bar and lounge is only open mysteriously 4 days a year at the Port Townsend Film Festival. And you do have to look to find it because it's been sort of named the bar at the dock. That's kind of like the, I don't know, the secret portal at the end of the universe or something like that. But it'll always be, as this one says, Area 51, where it says, no one is an alien here. Yeah! No one.
So I've got a question for you, Robert, before you go.
I'm leaving?
Some say, before you go no farther than 30 feet, it's like a reverse restraining order. Some say that unlike your drink, the Maury Island Incident cocktail, a cocktail from Roswell would be made of cheap, recycled, day-old, warm frat house beer collected from leftover party cups and garnished with stringy old rubber bands to symbolize that the Roswell incident is a deception about a weather balloon. How do you think that Roswell drink measures up to the Maury Island incident cocktail?
You know, anytime you have to put the name well in something, it's like when you drive someplace that says Maple Grove, there's no maples there, you know, Coconut Grove, there's no coconuts. If it's well and it's Ros, mostly you're stuck with the Ros. So I would say that the Roswell cocktail, when it comes about, is going to probably be old violin strings that have been run over a little bit of pitch and then thrown down some stinky old well, which we all know in New Mexico is radioactive. And sure, you'll get high, but only once.
My next special guest is Jeanette Force, the executive director of the Port Townsend Film Festival. Jeanette, you want to come up? So can you tell us a little bit about the festival?
Well, I can, and you know, I'm just about finished programming, and earlier I was going to make a comment about a film about the motherland. But now that I've heard your real feelings about Roswell, I won't say that. But I will say that we have a fabulous film about aliens and Area 51.
Woo, okay.
So that would be Little Tito and the Aliens. It also played at SIF. Fabulous, fabulous film about two kids from Italy who end up thinking they're moving to they think it's going to be a fabulous place in Nevada. But it turns out they're moving to Area 51. Marvelous film. So we have a little bit for everything, and the festival is September 21st, 22nd, and 23rd. I've got rack cards right over there. Do not miss the opportunity to be in a tiny Victorian village where you can walk to 8 films at the same little 4-block area and then sit under the stars every night and watch family-friendly films with your friends.
We have some elected officials. I'd love to have our elected officials walk up and be briefly acknowledged. Would you do that for me, please? This is fantastic. We've got Matt Mahoney, Tracy Buxton, Peter Kwan, Louisa Bangs, Mayor Matt Pina up in the front. Thank you for joining us. Very brave thing to do.
Esteemed fellow members, imagine, if you will, a place of liberation. Visualize a freedom held far too long in the dark corner of oppression. Where is that utopian nirvana? At a parade, of course. And imagine this. Imagine a parade, float decked out as the North Queen, towed by a 1947 Buick, with costume flying saucers dancing around while aliens leap for joy, each representing the farthest corners of the universe. Harold Dahl, his sons, and a couple of deckhands waving victoriously at their vindication, all under the watchful mirrored reflection of the sunglasses of the firm and emotionless men in black who surround them. And a balloon animal floating above, representing the ever-vigilant ghost of J. Edgar Hoover. You were close, though. Hot molten slag being tossed at the crowd. Yeah! Oh, wait. I meant swag and candy. Throwing molten slag from spaceships would be a bad idea, Steve. Only bad aliens do that. And no bad would come from it as it did for Mr. Dahl in his past. No reason to call it a hoax just to make people, the bad people, go away. Yes, my honored colleagues, bondage broke after 71 years of secrecy. No more hiding at the tin room or private beaches on the east side of Poverty Bay. Yes, freedom would echo over the waters and remind our enemies to the west that we will remain silent no longer. Whoa! And the town would be happy. That town would be Des Moines. For upon them would open a new and glorious day of lore, legend, and most importantly, another reason to party. All this because as a group, we have decided to tell Des Moines and the world that we were first, before Roswell, before Mount Rainier, and before a host of other first losers to the UFO parade. And that parade, my fellow members, one of the foundations and pillars of this society, one of the most important events to grace our good people, a place of welcome for a coming out party. Yes, Steve, and all, an entry into the Waterland Parade. Sure, there's this great community celebration, a UFO festival, a movie, a book, a web series, a Senate resolution, a signature new song, TV and radio interviews, and of course cool merchandise. By the way, it's for sale over here. A namesake drink. But is that enough? No, I say. It is all building to something greater.
We need a float.
If I have a lantern and it's dark, my fellow societyans, I don't cover it with a bucket so no one can see. No, I place it high so all have light. I make it a beacon, my fellow explorers, so all can find their way. A beacon that points to the truth. And if that isn't enough, Steve, I read a fact on the internet, so you know it's true. That people who participate in parades are 47% cooler than those that sit home and do nothing. I want to be cool. Don't you? Don't you? And my final plea to my esteemed colleagues, how many of you know the Bjornabys, Anna and BJ? Des Moines royalty, good people have committed their lives to this community, are the organizers of our illustrious Waterland Parade, which happens to be on July 21st, if you didn't know. Would you break their kind hearts? No. Would you crush their hopes? No. Would you kill their joy? No. I think not. Besides, BJ's got a really cool bar at his house, and I think if we taught him how to make the Maury Island Incident cocktail, he'd be sure to oblige, and as a token of his appreciations. My band of brothers and sisters, I leave you with this thought. A quote from that very smart person. I'm not sure who he is. I believe his name is UN Known. Mr. UN Known said, "The world suffers a lot, not because of the violence of bad people, but because of the silence of good people. Let's not be silent."
Now that the government, they're watching, yes, they're watching, we keep our heads down real low. We sold all our earthly possessions. Down the road we go.
All right, so last year Vince and Alex were here and we sent you off to Roswell with some gifts. Do you want to take that mic?
Yes.
All right, tell us what we gave you and what you did.
Well, we were given the task to, well, I think Steve said earlier, stuff at Roswell, and we went there to actually do that. Steve gave us a task to, I think he compared us to Samwise and Frodo from Lord of the Rings, to go to the fires of Mordor of Roswell and leave some special items to, I guess, declare the prominence of the Maury Island incident and Kenneth Arnold by default over Roswell. We were given a necklace with 6 donut-shaped rings on it that we were supposed to leave somewhere in Roswell. So we did that and a whole lot more. We actually did 6 very specific things, each represented by a photograph that Alexandra here has. And as I mention them, Alex will pass the photos to various parts of the crowd, take a look at them. If you don't all get a chance to see them this time around, they will be at a table later so you can examine them more closely. So I'd like to first give a special shout out to Jeremy Rule from Tinkham Road. Jeremy graciously donated some frequent flyer miles to us and got us down to Phoenix. And we rented a car and drove 9 hours across the desert to Roswell, New Mexico. And when we arrived there, we had the necklace with the 6 donut-shaped rings representing the 6 donut-shaped craft that appeared over there 71 years ago. And we took those and a lanyard of the Maury Island incident, this movie that was directed by Scott here. And we went into the UFO Museum of Roswell and made a new installment, which Alex will pass out here. We also printed out 4 copies of the Washington State Senate proclamation declaring the Maury Island incident and Kenneth Arnold as the true origins of the Summer of the Saucers. And we posted those on 4 very pivotal spots in Roswell, New Mexico. Number 1 being the Roswell Courthouse. We stuffed it. Then we went to the Roswell City Hall and posted it to the doors. Roswell. Next, we found a Roswell NBC news van and placed the proclamation under the windshield wipers. We're expecting to hear about that one soon. Then we went to the community board of the saucer-shaped McDonald's in Roswell, and they had an extra thumbtack. I put it there. And our day of trolling, Roswell.
Pièce de resistance, whole stick it to Roswell event.
Culminated in us creating picket signs and picketing or protesting the Roswell Visitor Center. We created 2 protest signs, one of which Alex held that read, "Maury Island says you are not the father of ufology." And I held one that said, "Kenneth Arnold died for your sins." We wanted to do this as a thank you to the Maury Island Incident Historical Society, and we're glad that they gave us this mission, but we also filmed the entire thing for a very special episode we were doing on the Summer of the Saucers, which part of which has been filmed today. And we will be putting that together in the next couple months. Really good footage. Lots of fun to be had there. And these photos we'd like to donate to the Maury Island Incident Historical Society afterwards, since we've all gotten a chance to look at them. So yeah, that's our mission to Roswell, and we're still alive. Alex, would you have anything to say about our journey there?
Well, it was kind of a bit of a culture shock going to the heart of New Mexico. Roswell does, I have to say, they do put on a show as far as their alien representation, a fact that I think the Northwest could probably step up their game on. But I think overall we send a very strong message that we are not to be trifled with in the Northwest, and clearly they don't have the claim they would like to imagine they have to UFO history.
No, it's all about Maury Island and Kenneth Arnold, and I'd like to conclude this actually with a very surprise special gift that we picked up for Scott and Steve from Roswell.
Get up here, Steve.
This
Special
is to
gift.
be shared amongst you two. I imagine you two can figure out how you're going to share that, but I'm certain both of you are going to know what to do with it.
Okay.
We have a roll of Roswell toilet paper.
Oh! Roswell toilet paper? Wow, you know, I need this right now, strangely.
Well,
Steve, you may have the honor. 1 square. Is it double ply?
No, they're pretty cheap there.
Single ply Roswell toilet paper.
We're going to have Corey Hollingsworth and Jeff Bean do the honors to get this craft going. I know that some of you looked at it and said, as we always do, wow, this is a piece of art. I can't believe you're going to roll it out, take the model. This is based on the actual drawings of the Icarus from the movie Planet of the Apes. Terry Donahue obtained that from the prop artist. And, you know, why would you burn art? And I don't know what the answer is, except that we like to burn stuff. And somehow, we hope that the burning actually sears the memory of this event, that we don't forget this history. And we have fun with it, but we don't want to forget it. So we do the burn. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the burning of the saucer, LXXI. Burning saucer 71, light it up. And I've also been told that there are actual things that could happen at the end of the aircraft here. Don't stand behind it. Move away, I've been told.
Ground control to Major Tom. Ground control to Major Tom. Take your protein pills and put your helmet on. Ground control to Major Tom. Amazing countdown engines on. Check ignition and may God's love be with
All my life I've awaited your coming and dreaded it. Like death itself.
Why? I terrified you from the first, Doctor. I still do. You're afraid of me and you hate me. Why?
Because you're a man. And you're right. I have always known about man. From the evidence, I believe his wisdom must walk hand in hand with his idiocy. His emotions must rule his brain. He must be a warlike creature who gives battle to everything around him, even himself. Man is evil, capable of nothing but destruction.
I can't help thinking somewhere in the universe there has to be something better than man.
You are a menace, a walking pestilence.
You did it. You cut up his brain, you bloody baboon!
What will he find out there, Doctor?
His destiny. Take your stinking paws off me, you damn dirty ape! You maniac! You blew it up! Oh, damn you! God damn you all to hell!
Hey, with that, the annual meeting of the Maury Island Incident Historical Society Burning Saucer 71 is adjourned. Thank you.